So many of us are talking about how times feel really wacky and crazy. And on the one hand, it's true. It's true that times feel wacky and crazy because we're in a great overlap. We're in this great shift between the earth, the planet, who we were as humans before 2020 and who we are now. And when we're in great overlaps, whether it be because there's a divorce in our home or where we're learning how to establish new habits or we're moving from country to country, it feels turbulent. It feels turbulent. And it can feel really hard and it can feel unpredictable. But this is the deal. This is the deal for humanity always, which is times always are turbulent. Just think of 1968 in the United States or French Revolution or Soviet Union when it was getting its revolution. Just think of times. Just think of your teenage years. Just think of when you had your first child. Just think of coming out of the closet. Times are turbulent. Times feel hard. Just think of the moments you want to have the affair and you don't know what to do. So this is the deal. The deal is that no matter what the scale says and your weight is going up and down or your bank account is going up and down or the stock market is going up and down or political systems are shifting, financial systems are shifting. It doesn't matter. What matters is who you are here, the inner journey, because that's all you can control, the inner journey. The inner journey is what I call where we lighthouse. We lighthouse. We hold strong when those waves back there start to hit us. And that's the history of humanity. It's the history of evolution. It's the history of growth. We suffer, we learn, and we evolve. And so the trick for all of you, whether you're in corporate, whether you're in finance, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a mom or a dad, a lover, whether you're non-binary, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're human. What matters is how you learn how to, we talk about it psychologically, how to emotionally regulate. That's what matters. Whether you're in Indonesia, which is where I am right now, I'm in beautiful Bali. Whether you're in the US or Italy, doesn't matter. All of the spiritual traditions, psychological traditions, emphasize the importance of the inner journey, of how we clean up what's happening on the inside, and that finding that regulation and that stability and that lighthouse within us, we can actually learn how to really do the external world, right? Inner journey, outer abundance, I call it. Heal yourself, heal the planet. These are some of the taglines for my programs. And so this is what I'm inviting you to do. Anyone. Everyone in marketing keeps asking, what's your niche? What's your niche? And I always get so confused with that because I'm multicultural and I work multidimensionally, which means that I can approach things, whether it's scientifically or psychologically or evolutionarily or metaphysically or spiritually or religiously. It doesn't matter. I've studied a lot of things. And I say my niche is the human. My niche is the human. And my niche is humanity. Because things are predictable in a way. We will go through waves. That's predictable. We will have ups and downs. That's predictable. We will fall in love and be heartbroken. That's predictable. We will have people who love us and people who don't. That's predictable. And what we can start to regulate and control is how we receive and how we respond to those things. Super important. So that's my niche. My niche is the human. And my niche is talking about humanity. And what I do is I developed this curriculum on purpose. Listen, I developed it first for me because I needed it. Because I have a post-traumatic past. And because I was severely dysregulated. Anxiety explosions, panic attacks, a phobia that lasted almost 11 years that I overcame holistically through mind, body, and spirit. Everything that I teach for humans, for me, I learned through my own skin. That's the truth. And I developed this curriculum now it's more sophisticated. Now I call it a curriculum, which is the Dynamic Revolution curriculum. And we start with dynamic meditation. And by the way, it's not what you're thinking. It's on the go, it's portable, it's practical. It's for busy people, it's for people with ADHD, and it's for my people, which are survivors of post-traumatic stress. So don't think it's just you sitting for hours in silence with your unsupervised mind. No, don't think it's that. It's actually something that's always with us. Whether we're in a group, whether we're traveling, doesn't matter. We can use the dynamic meditation method to regulate us. And it talks about, and I use specific tools for emotional regulation, for quieting the mind for sure, and for dissipating little by little those survival programs that keep us hypervigilant. It keeps us in the fight, flight, fawn, and freeze reactions to life. We diminish that. And I have a lot of testimonials about people who really, really started with wanting to end their lives. And that's the honest truth. And now they're living their best life, which is what I call the heaven on earth life. And if you see all of my posts, it's about heaven on earth living. Because we could do something that's psychologically called post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth, and in sort of lay people's terms, I call it trauma rising. Trauma rising, which means that no matter what past we come from, we can have a heaven on earth life, like what you see, like what I'm living right now. But we mainly have it inside through emotional regulation. And once we feel that our internal home, living inside our home, feels clean, because that's what dynamic meditation does. It cleans us up. And that's what we call it. Our group calls it that. We clean up. We clean up on the emotions that make us anxious, sad, where we're living in flashbacks. We clean all of that up. Because that's what we've got to do first, right? It's like we clean out the closet. We clean out our emotional closet from traumatic memories. We learn how to soften them. And little by little, though, as we move out of that first stage in the curriculum where we've cleaned up, we start to notice the beauty in life, the beauty, the abundance we've got going, which we couldn't see and we can't see when we're in fight or flight. We can't see it. We're too anxious. You know, when we're living in danger all the time, we cannot see the beauty of ourselves and the beauty of life. We just can't. And so what about that? What about doing this cleanup work? Through any process that you want. In my case, I do it through psychotherapy because I'm a psychotherapist, but also through the dynamic meditation method. And then we can't do it alone. We don't do it alone. So part of the curriculum is that I've built a community where we talk about this stuff and we talk about everything. It's a group of really, really, really smart people and really vulnerable people. We share, and we share openly, and we share about our trauma, but we definitely share about heaven on earth, about how our life is changing, improving, about how we see the gains, how we mark that every time we make an internal shift, our external life changes, right? Inner journey, outer abundance. And how the fact that when we heal ourselves, we're healing everything around us. Don't worry about codependence anymore. Don't worry about changing other people. Don't do that, right? Start with you. And the moment you start with you, you are shifting your family, you are shifting your relationships, you are shifting everything around you, which is why I say heal yourself, heal the planet. And then the last thing I do is something called empath leader. And that's very specific for people who've been doing the internal work for a long time. And they're empaths. And empaths are people who feel energies. They're almost psychic. I certainly am an empath. They're psychic in knowing what's happening in a room, being able to feel what's happening in others. And there's a whole list of skills, beautiful, organic, natural skills that the empath comes with that usually when we're traumatized or when we're living in our traumatic past, basically are used. People come in and use those skills and those gifts. In the empath leader training, I really teach people to have a PhD on yourself, which is my whole thing, is have a PhD on you. The more you know you, the better your life, right? Any subject. The more you know math, the more you know piano, the more you know anything, right? If you have a PhD on a subject, you will know it better and you will live it better. So when you have a PhD on you as an empath, you will learn that you have leadership qualities, and not entirely leadership to head a department somewhere or be a political leader, although that's part of it. It's how to have leadership in your life. Leadership in your life. That's a 12-week program. That's exclusive, and that's by invitation only. But the two ones that are really available to you right this minute are the dynamic meditation method and Wealth from Within, which is the monthly roundtable that I do for the community. And then we can reach our graduation. Our graduation is this. Our graduation is heaven on earth. And the ability to see heaven on earth everywhere. The ability to know that we are interconnected with our planet. That the all is in the small, and the small is in the all. That we are a part of this universe, but also that the universe lives inside of us. And so if we know and understand the universe that lives inside of us, we're coming back full circle. Inner journey out of abundance. I promise you, I do really promise you that the more you know yourself, the more you emotionally regulate, the more you study yourself holistically through mind, through body, through spirit, and through others, through the people that surround us. When you study yourself through them, I promise you, this world won't be so volatile. The peace that you find inside yourself, you will start experiencing outside yourself. I almost want to guarantee this. I guarantee it if you do the work. But trust this, I'm here to do the work with you. Because I've done it. I've done it. And I am living the heaven on earth life after being a post-traumatic stress survivor, complex post-traumatic stress survivor. Okay, multiple things. And I'm telling you, there is a life after trauma. There is a life after anxiety. There is a life after depression. And it's beautiful. It's heaven on earth. And we can find it. So let me reiterate everything that I've said. In the Dynamic Re-Evolution curriculum, we start with the cleanup. because we can't move forward if we haven't cleaned our closet. We start with emotionally regulating and being psychologically aware, and we start with the PhD on ourselves through the dynamic meditation method. And again, it's not what you're thinking, it's not sitting on a pillow forever, which I love, by the way. I love it and I do it, but this is different because it has clinical touches to it. And then there's a community. And it's not a Facebook community, by the way. It's a community where we meet once a month for 2 hours and we talk and we share our hurts and our vulnerabilities, and we share our gains, the ways that we are winning, the ways that we are doing life differently. And there's the empath leader, and that is by invitation. But if you identify as an empath, and if you feel like you've done a lot of good work on yourself, please reach out to me, because we can work that way. And then lastly, it combines everything, which is a heaven on earth life. And I have my podcast called Heaven on Earth, and you'll be seeing this on my podcast. Because that's where it ends. It ends with us loving us and us loving the life that we're living here on planet Earth, and us being able to really look around and love the life that we're building and the life that we're designing. And if you feel like you have more questions, you can meet with me individually as well. I do Heaven on Earth coaching, and I also do psychotherapy if you're in Washington, D.C., and I have different levels of programs for that, whether you want to meet with me once a month or twice a month or every week. Because sometimes once a month, it's because you need some guidance somewhere, right? It's like having a reading. And you've already been doing a lot of the work, and you're okay being out there doing the work, and you can meet with me once a month. Twice a month is, you're doing other stuff. You're doing other healing work. But you also want one-on-one attention and guidance. And I've got so much guidance, so many tools, so much insight for this. And then lastly, it's meeting me once a week. And when I talk about that, it's like going to the gym once a week. We keep a maintenance on your internal life. Some people don't like the once a week world, but for the folks who do, it just feels that it keeps them clean. It keeps them emotionally, mentally, and psychologically fit. Just like going to the gym, just like that dance class, just like that kickboxing class. It keeps them emotionally, mentally, and psychologically fit. So I'm here for all of it because I do it myself. I do it myself so that I can have the heaven on earth life. So I just wanted to do this because I'm in Bali. I'm living it. I'm getting all sorts of messaging right now, and I wanted to share it with you. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're interested. Know that I'm thinking about you, and I'm here. My door is open. Okay?